Hello, my name is Keith Stanley. I'm the Executive Director of the Near West Side Partners, the Avenues West Association, and bid number 10. A little bit about myself. From 2005 to 2010, I worked as the Main Street Manager for North 27th Street, called the Sohai District. From 2010 to 2013, I worked for formerly President of the Common Council, President and Alderman Willie L. Hines. And for the past 2 years, it's been my pleasure to work as the Executive Director of the Business Improvement District number 10 and the Avenues West Association. Uh, I see this presentation as a way to really explain what the Business Improvement District number 10 expansion is all about, how it can be beneficial for the local community, the role of a bid, and a number of different other things that we're going to jump into. I want to point out that the Near West Side is composed of, our target area is composed of 7 unique asset-filled neighborhoods, and so we can consider ourselves a neighborhood of neighborhoods with many great things and amenities, not only for our residents and for entertainment, but also for our businesses. So let's start off. What is a bid? And a bid basically is a voluntary group of businesses coming together to say that they will add a basically additional tax to themselves to support the revitalization efforts within a local community. So when you think of bids, we have about over 30 of them in the city of Milwaukee and close to 100 of them throughout the state. And they're a fabulous tool that will allow us to look to support a number of different areas of priorities that we see fit within our neighborhood, whether it's lighting, city infrastructure, streetscaping, safety and security, surveillance, ambassador programs, graffiti removal programs, facade and signage grant programs, promotional programs. We think about events, festivals, and events that promote the area. We think about street lighting and things that improve the area. That's basically what a bid can do. A bid is basically bound by state statute as far as how it's regulated, but it's supported locally by the city of Milwaukee. So the key words are to revitalize, improve a shared community for a safer, more attractive area, and that leads to a number of different benefits, including potentially increased property values, increased safety and security, and increased promotions and patrons that add to the bottom line. The bid is governed by our board of directors, and our goal is with this bid is to really look at how we might be able to, when we want to make sure that the bid represents not just our small businesses, our medium size, but all our businesses. That's important. It's that board of property owners and businesses that come together and decide on those priorities and help guide us to where we need to go. So how does a bid work for you? There's a number of different ways a bid can work for a small, large business property owner. First of all, as I mentioned earlier, the priorities. If we want a cleaner and safer near West Side, this is the way we can do it, working together. We can look at ambassadors, graffiti removal programs. But more importantly, a bid is helpful because it's a steady, reliable source of funding. Currently, bid number 10 has been in existence for over 20 years. And that 20 years has led to a number of different ways that we've been able to really engage the Avenues West community. And the only way we've been able to do that and support the Avenues West community is having dedicated funding. Some people will say, well, hey, just get some company or some entity to write a check, a foundation or a large corporation to write a check. That type of funding we can't count on. One bad year, one bad dip in the economy, and we're lost. And so dedicated funding sources allow us to then assume debt to do things like Wisconsin Avenue. How can we reconstruct Wisconsin Avenue to make it something beautiful, not just for the next few years, but for generations to come? And so we do that by having a dedicated funding source. And as I mentioned before, potential to increase property values. A bid really can support the increase in property values. If you look at the Third Ward and what has happened as far as the narrative and the story, there's some great things that have happened in the Third Ward, and we would like to emulate that and copy that. And how do we do that? Well, we do that by creating a bid that not just only focuses on one of 7 communities, but all 7 communities within the Near West Side target area. Let's move forward. There's a couple other ways that the bid can work for you. And currently, I've had some experience, as I mentioned earlier, working with City Hall and working even with the Milwaukee Police Department. Promotions. We worked closely with the gas station owner at 27th and St. Paul. Not only did we make sure that he had a great grand opening by working with local media and working with the City Hall, we also made sure that he was able to get land acquisition and have the resources available needed to really do a bang out job with the gas station at 27th and St. Paul. And so we help with promotions, we help with safety and security. Right now, the Avenues West Association sponsors, which is bid number, which has a contract with bid number 10. We sponsor the Avenues West Safety and Security Task Force, the Avenues West Landlord Compact, and also our Surveillance Initiative program. So we would like to see that expanded, and that's important. We want to make sure that our collaboration is not only focused in the Avenues West neighborhood, but it's focused throughout the Near West Side. And currently we're doing that, but we're stretching our resources, and having dedicated funding and dedicated staffing to that will help us create a better neighborhood. Another way, cleanups and planning. Cleanups, the Avenues West Association, bid number 10, has worked to make sure that we're doing a number of different cleanups throughout the year. We work closely with Marquette University, Neighborhood House. We also have a graffiti removal program. We're interested in making sure the environment of our businesses is clean and safe environment. And we can't do that alone. And by allowing a larger bid to support the efforts, we can possibly look at dedicated funding towards our cleanup efforts, and that's important. Planning is another one. I mentioned about Wisconsin Avenue, but also another major project is I-94. We want to make sure we work closely and coordinate in collaboration with our other businesses to look at I-94 and how that would affect not just Avenues West, but other communities. Merrill Park, Cold Spring Park, Historic Concordia Neighborhood, the Valley, Miller Valley, and Martin Drive. How do we do that? And I think this is the tool that we are able to do that by working together, having dedicated funding. So we're looking at wayfinding and signage and marketing. And this is just a once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to coordinate the effort with all our businesses within the Near West Side to focus on an environment where we're able to, our patrons and visitors and residents and employees are able to exit I-94, and they're welcomed by great signage, great streets, great infrastructure. Let's move forward. So bid funding. Basically, bid funding boils down to this. It focuses on property owners and property owners with a business within the property. Most businesses are 100%. In other words, if the property is dedicated 100%, all of it to a business. But we do have some properties where only a percentage of the square footage is dedicated to business. So we will take a look at that. And we use as a rough estimate, even though this isn't perfect, 1.5% of the total business property assessment. So if you have a property that is assessed at $100,000, I want to make sure I do my math correct, and let's say 30% of that is used for business, which is about 30,000 square footage. 1.5% of that, you probably end up paying about $400 in special assessment. Now, many of our businesses won't even hit that mark. A lot of them will be a lot lower than that. But our goal is to make sure that everyone has some type of skin in the game, so we're working together in a coordinated fashion to fund the efforts of this community. And if you talk to any of our businesses within the current bid 10, they would tell you about the value, the importance of having a bid, and it's just really important. That assessment comes along with your tax bill. You would see that as a separate line item, and you pay it along with your taxes. Once again, it must have a business use. Usually, so if it's a retail, light industrial, office space, those type of businesses are included. We will work with businesses. So if you have a business or a property that's only have 30, 40, 50%, or maybe even 10% of it as business use, we will work with you on that to make sure the equation is right. But most properties do fall in the 100% category. And so most of them will be taxed at 100% as when it comes to the equation of the assessment. The current boundaries of our bid number 10, it's basically in the Avenues West neighborhood. And if you look at the map here, you will see we're bounded by I-43, 28th Street on I-43 on the east, 28th Street on the west, I-94 on the south, and State Street on the north. Our goal is to change that. We'd like to expand it. If you take a look at this map, you will see that we're a little bit larger, with I-94 on the south, Valete Street on the north, I-43 on the east, and then 41 on the west. Now, this isn't etched in stone. There will be some changes made to this map. We want to make sure you're aware of where that boundary and how it fits. Once again, we see this as an opportunity of a lifetime to coordinate not just all our businesses, our small and medium-sized businesses within this boundary, but our larger anchor institutions who are ready and willing to support this initiative. And to have that type of support is quite amazing, and we're pretty excited about that. Here's just an overlap of what that map, what the two maps look like combined. So basically, we're just incorporating a little bit larger area, and you may be able to find your business within those lines. Feel free to give me a call, or feel free to visit our website for a copy of this map. The role of the Near West Side Partners is NWSP, Near West Side Partners. Well, the role of Near West Side Partners, frankly, is to coordinate the efforts of some of our anchor institutions to help us with this initiative, among many others. Near West Side Partners has came together January 14th with their announcement of really focusing on revitalization. It includes economic development, improved housing, identity and branding, and safety. uh, we're once again at a once in a lifetime opportunity here to have iconic institutions and brands that are known internationally who are interested in economic development within this community. And that is something that we just can't overlook, to see having these businesses who see the value of a collaboration and revitalization and are willing to come to the table. That's important, I think, for all of us, and have to have all our business involved in some capacity, and invested in some capacity. I think it's really important. And so the Near West Side Partners, they're moving forward to do some economic activity and some other things of that nature. They have the park program, promoting assets, reducing crime. They also have a couple other programs we're looking at, and they're just an amazing team of anchor institutions that any part of the state will be happy to have. And so we're glad to have these institutions here. So I want to hear from you. A couple of things that you can do is that make sure you visit the avenueswest.com website. Avenues West, that's avenues with an S, avenueswest.com website. Pretty simple. You go there, you click on there's a link at the home page that's complete a survey. Also, if you're interested, you can go to get more information, and I'm going to take you through there where you can get information about our public information meetings. There's a couple other surveys that we're completing about employees in the neighborhood. In fact, let's do that real quick if you don't mind. Let's go to that Avenues West website, and we're going to click on the link here and pop that open. So if you can see here, this is the Avenues West website. Here is the click here for the bid 10 expansion survey, and then you click there for the survey, and then you click here bid 10 expansion, and you have a listing of resources to get a better understanding of the bid. Once again, we want to hear from you, and we want to make sure that we're answering your questions. So with that said, I'm going to sign off. Make sure I do this right. I'm going to sign off, and if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. My number is 414-933-0640. That's 414-933-0640. You also, once again, you can visit the avenueswest.com website. Thanks for watching the video, and we look forward to hearing from you.